Explosive Growth by Eva, Jocelyn, and Hiromi. Leaders naturally want progression and want to see the vision fulfilled, either in the company or in the people. But the problem is that most followers, or at least all, depend on the leader to make the decision for them. Leaders then originally struggle where they should be and where their people need to be. That's why explosive growth is the answer. What is explosive growth? Explosive growth is a term used to describe a rapid and significant increase in something, such as a business, a company, or a social media account. This type of growth is often referred to as growth in popularity, which can lead to a large increase in customers, followers, or revenue in a short period of time. However, it's important to note that explosive can be difficult to sustain over the long term, and it's important for businesses and individuals to have a plan in place to manage and maintain their growth over time. Characteristics of leaders who attract followers include: need to be needed, want recognition, focus on others' weaknesses, spend their time with others, experience some success. Characteristics of leaders who attract leaders include: want to be succeeded, want to reproduce themselves, focus on others' strengths, invest their time in others, experience incredible success. Leaders usually have a tendency to lead followers and not leaders. 3 critical stages of explosive growth. If you develop yourself, you can experience personal success. All of the leaders must begin by beginning here. Before leading others, you must first improve. You will succeed personally if you grow personally. Your performance will advance, and so will your outcomes. By developing yourself, you can improve your skills, knowledge, and abilities, which can help you to be more successful in your personal and professional life. This can include things like learning new things, practicing healthy habits, and working on your personal growth. By investing in yourself, you can achieve greater success and fulfillment in your life. Developing yourself can also help you to build confidence, which can be a key factor in achieving success. When you feel more confident in your abilities, you may be more willing to take risks and pursue your goals, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Additionally, by focusing on your personal growth, you can develop a stronger sense of purpose and direction in your life, which can help you to stay motivated and focused on your goals. Ultimately, by working on yourself, you can become the best version of yourself and achieve greater success and happiness in your life. If you develop a team, your organization can experience growth. At this point, you begin to consider your team. As a leader, you continually develop, but you also engage with, inspire, and help others. At this point, you begin to draw followers and you devote time and energy to them. Your organization or business can expand if you build a team. It means that by investing in the development of your team members, you can help your organization to grow and achieve greater success. When you provide your team members with opportunities to learn and grow, you can help them to develop new skills and abilities, which can be applied to their work and ultimately benefit the organization as a whole. Additionally, by creating a culture of learning and development within your organization, you can attract and retain top talent, which can be a key factor in achieving long-term success. Overall, developing your team is an important part of building a strong and successful organization. If you develop leaders, your organization can achieve explosive growth. You start being deliberate about working with leaders at this point. You track them down, give them money, and help them develop into their best selves. Your success is now starting to compound. Once you develop a leader, reproduction never ends, because leaders have an impact on others. Your organization or business can grow exponentially if you cultivate leaders. Developing leaders within your organization means investing in the growth and development of your employees so that they can become effective leaders who can drive growth and success for your organization. When you develop leaders, you are empowering your employees to take ownership of their work, think strategically, and make decisions that are aligned with the organization's goals and values. This can lead to a more engaged and motivated workforce, which can drive innovation, improve performance, and ultimately lead to explosive growth for your organization. In addition, developing leaders can help to create a culture of continuous improvement within your organization. By providing your employees with leadership training, mentoring, and coaching, you can help them to develop new skills and abilities which they can apply to their work and share with their colleagues. This can lead to a more collaborative and supportive work environment where employees are encouraged to learn from one another and work together to achieve common goals. Reasons why leaders gather followers and not leaders. The desire. Leaders who attract followers need to be needed. Leaders who lead leaders want to be succeeded. Maxwell says, as you look for potential leaders, you need to realize that there are really two kinds of leaders, those who attract followers and those who attract other leaders. People who attract and team up only with followers will never be able to do anything beyond what they can personally touch or supervise. Look for leaders who attract other leaders. They will be able to multiply your success. Effective leaders draw followers need to be needed, and successful leaders seek to attract more successful leaders. People can quit a company or project and still be counted on by others to complete tasks, but leaders never do. They can abandon a project with confidence, knowing that there are persons who are qualified to fill that position. You won't develop leaders if you have a strong need to be needed, since you'll always want people to rely on you. Leaders who draw followers look for those who may directly benefit from their influence. The search for successors is a trait of leaders who draw other leaders. Their priorities. Leaders who attract followers develop the bottom 20%. Leaders who lead leaders develop the top 20%. According to Maxwell, the organization's weakest members need the most time and attention. You will therefore spend 80% of your time attempting to assist them if you concentrate on the lowest 20%. However, if you invest that time on training your top 20% of workers, their leadership may support the weaker workers, leading to overall improvement for everyone. The weakest followers, the bottom 20%, get the lion's share of the attention from leaders who draw followers. Because they understand that after the top 20% of followers are created, they will assist everyone else. Leaders who attract leaders concentrate on their strongest followers' top 20%. Also, a different focus. Leaders who attract followers focus on weaknesses. Leaders who lead leaders focus on strength. Leaders who attract followers tend to be more critical and focused on identifying weaknesses in their team members. They may be more likely to point out mistakes and areas for improvement rather than recognizing and building on their team's strengths. Leaders who lead leaders, on the other hand, tend to focus on building on the strengths of their team members. They recognize that each person has unique talents and abilities, and they work to develop those strengths to help their team members become even more effective leaders. While they may still identify areas for improvement, they do so in a way that is constructive and supportive rather than critical. Leaders who attract followers treat everyone the same. Leaders who lead leader treat individuals differently. Leaders who attract followers may have a more transactional leadership style where they offer rewards or incentives to get people to follow them. They may not necessarily take the time to get to know each individual on their team or understand their unique needs and motivations. Leaders who lead leaders, on the other hand, tend to have a more transformational leadership style where they inspire and motivate their team to achieve their full potential. They recognize that each person on their team has unique strengths and weaknesses, and they take the time to get to know each person individually. By understanding what motivates and inspires each person, they can tailor their leadership approach to help each individual grow and develop as a leader. Leaders who attract followers spend time with others. Leaders who lead leaders invest time in others. Leaders who attract followers tend to be more charismatic and persuasive, and they often spend a lot of time building their own brand and promoting themselves. They may not necessarily invest a lot of time in developing other leaders, as their focus is more on building their own following. On the other hand, leaders who lead leaders are more focused on developing the skills and abilities of others so that they can become leaders themselves. They spend more time mentoring and coaching others, and they are invested in the success of their team as a whole rather than just their own personal success. Leaders who attract followers impact only people they touch. Leaders who lead leaders impact people beyond their reach. Leaders who draw a following don't grow those fans. Their supporters don't become better. A leader's worth to the organization rises as they help their followers develop as stronger leaders. Leaders who attract followers only impact people directly. When a leader gains a follower, they gain a single person. Leaders who attract leaders impact their people, and since their people are leaders and have their own followers, the top leader is therefore impacting a whole chain of followers. Leaders who draw a following don't grow those fans. Their supporters don't become better. A leader's worth to the organization rises as they help their followers develop as stronger leaders. Leaders who attract followers grow by addition. Leaders who lead leaders grow by multiplication. The law of explosive growth states that leaders who attract followers grow by addition, whereas leaders who develop leaders grow by multiplication. Maxwell calls this leaders' math. Leaders who attract followers only impact people directly. When a leader gains a follower, they gain a single person. Leaders who attract leaders impact their people, and since their people are leaders and have their own followers, the top leader is therefore impacting a whole chain of followers. Challenge of leading leaders. Leaders are hard to find. There aren't that many people in the world who are capable of applying the laws of leadership. Leaders are hard to gather. Leaders often want to do their own thing. Your vision has to be more compelling and interesting than theirs if you want to bring them over. You also need to have an organization that will interest them. Most organizations want stability, structure, and rules. Leaders want the opposite. Leaders are hard to keep. You can only lead leaders if your leadership abilities are stronger than theirs. As your leaders grow, you must also grow to keep ahead of them. Also remember that only leaders can develop other leaders. If you help others develop, they will stay with you. Real-life application of explosive growth. Equip is a great example. Equip, a company that created leaders, set a tall objective in 2001, create 1 million leaders by 2008. On the basis of this regulation, Equip would only teach 40,000 leaders directly, but would thereafter require each of them to train an extra 25 leaders. In cities in India, Indonesia, and the Philippines, Equip launched the program. 90% of the leaders agreed to train their own 25 leaders after completing their program. Equip carried out the 5 steps of the program in other areas. Make contact with local leaders who are already providing leadership training. Ask such leaders to select training appropriate cities. Request that they find participants. Ask the leaders who graduated from the program to train other leaders. Find American leaders who are willing to travel and train others. Every leader didn't develop 25 new leaders. Some could only dedicate themselves to developing 5 or 10, while others were developing up to 250. By 2006, Equip had already accomplished its 1 million leader target.
Thanks for listening to our webmasterpiece.